welcome back to the Daily Dish. We are here to chat about all things pop culture, beauty, media, de-influencing. That is where it's at for me this year, honestly. I've always been a little bit of a de-influencer, and let me explain to you why. Also, hold on. Let me have a sip of my midday cafe. Oh, yeah, so good. Let me tell you what's in here. Organic coffee, pistachio milk, which I frothed with vanilla powder and agave. So that's why it's nice and frothy. I don't know why, but I just haven't been enjoying drinking coffee out as much as I usually do. So back to making it home. I think that the reason why we all love to go out and get coffee, it's not because we actually like the coffee. It's because we want the social interaction. We want to dress up a little bit. We want to be seen and see. That's why I go get coffee. It's not really for the coffee. I know it's really for the coffee when I go through the drive-through. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm really in need of a caffeine boost. And I will tell you this. I haven't had a Red Bull in a really long time. That's not true. I've had a mixed drink with Red Bull in it. I found that when I was younger and I was waitressing, I would drink a Red Bull before my shift. Is that what you call it? But it gave me really bad acne. And I don't know what that exactly was about, but I am just now recovering from my Christmas cookie extravaganza. So many people gave me sweet treats, and then I also made sweet treats that I could, I brought to people's houses. And so honestly, my little secret, and it's not about like gaining weight. Who cares about that? I mean, obviously care about that. You want to be healthy, but to me, it's more about like my skin. I just feel like sugar is my fave, but as I get older, every single year we lose like more and more collagen. Sugar doesn't help that, right? I did my own manicure today. I don't know if you guys could see. Essie Quick Dry. Here's the thing. I love going and getting my nails done, a manicure, a pedicure. I love it. But there's just something about the vibes in the nail salons. They've always been like a little trash, but now there's nothing enjoyable about getting my nails done. I don't like the drills. I don't like the whole vibe. It's not like a hair salon where you're all there, you're chatting, you're having coffee, you're mingling. It's just a different vibe in the nail salons. And it makes me feel anxious to go. Like I was finding that I was having to like psych myself up before I would get out of the car to go get my nails done. And the last time I got my nails done, what was it? Maybe like a year ago? Maybe a year to like last December. Yeah, it's been about a year. And I just remember being like, I'm not going to do this unless I like absolutely have to do it, right? Took that money and I allotted it into getting a foot massage. So I'm noticing for me, I'm tweaking my habits and taking money that I was investing in one thing and now I'm investing it in other things. Like instead of getting a manicure, pedicure, I do it myself. My nails are incredibly healthy and strong, but my treat is to go and get a foot massage, an hour-long foot massage. I just think that money is way better spent doing that. When it comes to, any recreational activities like shopping, unnecessary shopping, which I haven't done a lot of unnecessary shopping in the past 4 years. It's been mostly necessity shopping with a little bit of like treats here and there. But honestly, the last 4 years, it's been about surviving and necessities, which has really restructured my thought process on a lot of things. If I could go back, I'm about to reach my fourth decade on earth. That's crazy. But if I could go back and, tell my 20-year-old self, instead of spending money on all of those things, invest it, I like, you coulda, woulda, shoulda. And I wouldn't know what I know now if I didn't make the mistakes that I made then. But I also think a lot of people in my life when I was younger watched me make a lot of like poor choices. And I think that they judged me for making those choices instead of finding compassion, understanding, and empathy in their heart, and then trying to kind of like help guide me, perhaps make different choices. But then also, I think about my family and the people that I grew up around, and I'm walking a completely different path than any of those people could ever even conceptualize walking. So, how could anybody really have given me any advice when they've they have no idea what I'm doing or how to advise me? So, I have to find compassion and understanding in my heart. You know, maybe they weren't rooting for my downfall. Maybe they just didn't know how to advise me because they just didn't know what kind of path I was on. So, definitely finding compassion in my heart for that. I really could have done without a lot of those lessons, though. Now reaching my fourth decade. And look, this is life. I'm always going to be learning a different lesson. I just hope to catch it a lot quicker, have a lot less collateral damage, and integrate the lessons quicker, sooner, and more efficiently than I have in the past. No, when I look at my life, I'm very, very proud of myself and all of the things that I've done and handled and how I've handled them. But when I was given opportunities, I think that a little bit of self-sabotage crept in. Now on to, let's talk about self-sabotage. This is perfect to think about. All of the divorces that are happening right now, when we think of Kim and Croy, when we think of Tori and Dean, I just started watching True Tori, which makes me feel like I have like a speech impediment when I say that. They are such hot messes. He was so handsome. When she was like, I just have never given myself to anybody like that, in my mind, I said it out loud. I said, well, he was fucking hot, and I bet the fucking was good. Like, yeah, okay, you were married to this other guy who was kind of like a little bit of a metrosexual, and then she met Dean McDermott. They did a flashback of what they looked like when they were younger. He was so hot. Like, I've dated guys who looked like him, and yeah, like they're just so incredibly handsome. And I had a guy say to me one time, ugly wife, happy life, meaning I was too high maintenance because I was cute, whatever. He ended up marrying a very unfortunate looking woman, and they've been married for a long time, so good for them. But I get it now, because I don't ever want to date a man that's too good looking. Like, I don't have the energy to be stressed out like that. Right? Like, I don't have the energy. Yeah, I would rather whatever. I like guys who aren't even like that traditionally handsome anyway. They're usually a little bit like rugged or thick or, but they always have like a certain swag about them. So I understand, Tori. I understand why you crash and burn your entire life to be with him. And, no shade to Tori at all. I don't know what his ex-wife looked like, but I mean, look, you could lose him to anyone, right? My stepfather, he went from my very beautiful mother to his current wife right now, or girlfriend, or whatever she is. More on his level. So, but I get it. I get it. If someone's too attractive, it's fucking stressful. So, watching True Tori, it was right after Dean had cheated. He had a 2-day tryst with a girl. And then he had to go to a 30-day rehab. All of this just makes me think, like, what is really going on here? He cheated, but why does he have to go to a 30-day rehab? Also, she just seems like a hot mess, unorganized, all over the place, frazzled. I feel bad for the whole scenario. She's got all these kids, and I wonder, like, what made her want all of those children. And I think that what made her want all of those kids was she probably wanted to build maybe like the jovial family that she never had, even though she grew up with great wealth and she was Aaron Spelling's daughter and she had a brother. I think she grew up craving more intimacy. And this is interesting because when I'm watching the show and she's got just the 4 little ones, she doesn't have the 5th one yet, and she's trying to get all the kids ready for school and the kids throwing up and all this stuff. And I was like, I wake up every day, well, aside from my nightmare fucking cat waking me up at 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, all fucking night, crying like a baby. I could take a nap in the middle of the day if I wanted to, if I don't have to be at the studio. Luxury. However, there is something to be said about a bustling home, and there are so many different variables which could all go wrong, but there is foundations being built with each one in the family. And some people grow up, you never talk to your family members, some people are very, very close, but it's like making memories. And yes, I sound like Kris Kardashian, but it's true. And I was like, that's so, like, I get, like, one part of my brain is like, wow, why'd she have all these kids with him? And then the other part of my brain is like, because she wanted like a real family dynamic. Candy Spelling, you think she's cozy? I don't think she's cozy. Aaron Spelling, he probably gave Tori the world, but wasn't getting on his hands and knees and playing blocks with her. You know what I mean? So I understand why she had such a big family with such a unstable man. He was hot. The Bone Town was fucking good. And she was fulfilling a desire from her own childhood to have this big raucous family. So I feel so bad for her, but she's very disorganized. And Dean is very chaotic. Watching them talk on the show, True Tori, while he's in the treatment facility, you can tell they have chemistry. And I could see why they were together and had 5 children. But he really is chaotic, and he really has like an addictive personality. And I think when it comes to people who cheat a lot in relationships, I don't even think that it's like they want to desire another person. I think that it's like they can't have, it's a drug, it's a dopamine release. It's a little bit dangerous. It's a little bit taboo. It's it feeds an addict's addictive personality, the sneaking around, the secrecy, all of that stuff, I think contributed to Dean's cheating on Tori all the time. He seems to like to escape a lot. He's so fucking cute though. He didn't age great. That's what alcohol does too, but he was so handsome. Oh my God, I get it. Now we know Kim and Croy. Well, here's also another thing. I was looking, and I don't want to pass judgment on children's looks, but I will say that when I look at pictures of myself in high school, particularly when I was living at my mother's house, I look like a completely different person than I do now. I was 15 years old and I looked like I was 35, and now I'm 39 years old and I don't look like how I looked when I was living at my mom's house. When I look at Dean and Tori's children, I can see the stress shaping their faces, shaping their bodies, and I can also see that with Kim and Croy's children. Protect Kaya. She's so beautiful. Don't stress her out, okay? But I had eczema when I was a kid, and the mother wound for a female, for a male as well, is in the hips. So my legs were shaped completely different when I was younger. My body was shaped completely different. So when I'm looking at these kids, I'm just thinking, oh my God, the trauma is taking a hold of these poor children, and they need to get out of Tori's home. When kids grow, parents think it's cool to not have expectations for their children, or maybe it's intentional when parents don't have expectations for their children, but children mirror what the parents say, think, and feel about them. And when you're saying to your kid, it doesn't matter what your grades are, it doesn't matter if you play sports, it doesn't matter if you're in extracurricular activities, you're not giving your kid any confidence. You're not giving your kid any standards for themselves. If I was a parent, there would be extracurriculars, there would be expectations, there would be chores, there would be consistency and stability. And, when I look at Tori's kids and I look at Kim and Croy's kids, I'm like, this is going to really take its toll on them, whether it be indulging in sugar as they get older, alcohol, all of these things that they're doing and they're involving their children in, it's going to come back in some way. And I'm so sick of hearing people say children are resilient. No, children are not resilient. Children are surviving, and you don't see the damage done to the child until they move out of the house and they go away to school, or they have friendships, or they get into relationships of their own. Children are surviving. So, yeah, they're resilient in their survival, but the moment they start to develop their own patterns and their own relationships and their own way of life, that's when you see it start to take place. So, like, drug addicts are made in like second grade. They're not made at 25. And it really does have so much to do with structure, expectation, confidence building activities. It does. My voice just cracked. It's true. I know from experience. Unfortunately, I had to separate myself from everybody in my family, and anyone could say what they want and judge me how they want, but you don't know how I grew up or what I went through. I don't know how you grew up or what you went through, but it was important for me. And how you feel on the inside shows on your outside. So I feel so bad for those kids. I really do. There's a way to get divorced. There's a way to separate. There's a way to fight. There's a way to, think of Jeff Lewis and Gage and Monroe. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Listening. Jeff is probably a nightmare in his own right, But Gage is a buzzkill on top of a buzzkill on top of a buzzkill. Apparently, Monroe did get back safely. I haven't listened to the episode yet today, but I guess she's back. And I really think that once Monroe hits 10, 11, 12, maybe it's time to not hang out with Daddy Gage so much anymore. Telling her it's going to affect your relationship with me if you go on the red carpet with Daddy Jeff. It's going to, you can't go to summer camp. He is just, as a little kid, I always wanted to go to sleepaway camp. I didn't get to do that, but a few times I did get to go to summer camp, and it is the most fun ever. So I don't understand why he's standing in the way of her building these friendships with kids, having friends, going, like, I would have hated to go to CCD, but you go to those things, even if you don't want to go, and then you grow up and you're 35 and those are the kids that you invite to your wedding. You know what I mean? Like, Daddy Gage is just taking away all of Monroe's opportunity to build memories, foundations, relationships with her peers. So I can't stand him. Like, I literally cannot stand him. He's so annoying. And nothing is more strange to me than the fact that him and Scott are now in a relationship. Whatever Jeff has done in his life, I don't think he could ever do anything to deserve that. Like, that is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard in my life. So strange. I'm like thinking, what? That just so bizarre. My little curl is bothering me. She doesn't want to behave. Do you want to curl this way? Do you want to curl this way? She's like, I don't care. She's like, I just want to be rebellious. This is day 3 hair because I toned it 3 days ago. And I don't want to wash it just yet because I like the tone. And toners only last 20 washes. So, all right, on to something way more fun. I needed this in my life. The Ultimate Girls Trip Legacy is chef's kiss. Perfection. Iconic. So cool. The fact that it's so funny when the Countess starts drinking again. Are you eating my food? I have paella on the stove. And I know she's trying to move that pot. Quinn, Penny. They're so bad. Anyway, back to Real Housewives, Ultimate Girls Trip Legacy. Luann is so funny when she's drinking. Crappy Lake, she wasn't drinking. Now she's drinking on Ultimate Girls Trip. She's smoking cigs. She's like, look, they have cigarettes on the menu. Old school. I was dying. I was like, oh my God, I love. Luann is just a down ass bitch. Okay. I love her so much. I love her. It's this, I know she didn't grow up in New York City, but she's like the age range of the adults kind of like that I liked to be around. But it's just like that age group. I don't know. It's like they're classy, but they're fucking broads, but they're New Yorkers, but they're chic, but they're like well-traveled, but country bumpkin. But whatever they are, I resonate with. And I grew up in Bergen County and lived in New York City for a long time. So I think that that's probably why I resonate with them the most. I love Beverly Hills. I can't relate to them at all. I cannot stand OC. I cannot relate to them at all. But and Jersey, it's too close to home because it's where I grew up. Like they film where I grew up in Bergen County. And Teresa reminds me of my mom. I don't like my mom. I don't like watching it. I don't like watching it. I feel like the Melissa in my family. I feel like the Melissa Joe in my family. And my sister's Teresa, my mom's Teresa. I just don't like them. So I don't want to hang out. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to be there. But the New York women, I fucking love. Fucking love them. Okay? So funny. When they had the neon party and Luann is like, where's everybody else? And Kristen's like, what do you mean everybody else? And Luann is like, the men. She was ready to serve. And Kristen, who's been married for 17 years or whatever she's been married for, she doesn't care about dudes. I would have been so pissed too. I'm single. And I feel like, look, if the guy isn't there, then we're not meant to meet him. Where's this red string theory? Where is my partner? Hello, where's my fucking red string? I've been calling to you, come here. But that's what I want to say to the ladies is Sonia, Luann, and Ramona were all, annoyed that there weren't any other people at the party. I get it. But at the same time, if you have to force it, he's not going to be the one for you. And if it'll be divine if you walk into like a Walgreens and you bump into him with your cart and he's there. If she would have invited people and then organically men would have been there, different story. But if you're just thinking force it, invite guys here, then it's probably not gonna click. And I say this to myself too all the time. Look, Candace, if you're meant to meet somebody, you will meet somebody. If you're not, you won't. So that's my 2 cents about that. Kelly Kaloran Ben-Simone, Kiki, is insane. When she clink, clink, clinked, as Luann was telling the story, Luann's face, you knew she was drinking because she was like, if her face, it said 1,000 words. It didn't even need to talk. She was like, are you kidding me? Did you just clink, clink in the middle of my story about the threesome? I wanted to hear it, Kelly Kaloran Ben-Simone. You're so annoying. Go to sleep. Literally, she is Scary Island. Go to sleep. She's like, look, here's all my love letters for my fiance. I'm getting married. And she's like, I want love from Dorinda. I want nurturing from Dorinda. Kristen's like, what am I, chopped liver? And Dorinda's swimming in the pool. She's like, why does she want my approval? It's so weird. But I'm telling you right now, Kelly Kaloran has not changed one bit, not one iota in 10 years. She's exactly the same. If Bethany could come around and tell her, go to sleep part 2, I would fucking watch it all over again. I miss Bethany. I'm so mad she burned the bridge with Andy. Even though I find her annoying, I unfollowed her on Instagram and TikTok. I just don't see any of her things anymore unless I go there on purpose. But I am so pissed that she will most likely never be on our TV as a Real Housewife ever again because I think she's amazing. I want to see Tinsley. I want to see Bethany. I want to see Ramona. I want to see Sonia. I want to see Lou. Who else do I want to say? That's all I could think of right now. Kristen's cool, but like she's gorgeous to look at, but she's like not very entertaining at all. She's been married for 1,000,000 years. She doesn't really drink that much. She's pretty benign as a Real Housewife. So I'm glad that they brought her back for the Ultimate Girls Trip, but in terms of like watching her on another Ultimate Girls Trip, I don't know. I almost might prefer to see Carol, who is so annoying. Carol is so annoying. But I almost might rather see Carol than Kristen, even though Kristen is stunning. And I have my red light too, but like she's doing her red light therapy. She has the collagen mask on. A girl after my own heart, truly. Because that is totally my vibe. I whitened my teeth last night. I have to do it again. They were looking a little dingy. But let's talk about, we're going to end this on Southern Charm. I think that Olivia took what Taylor did, saw all the sympathy that she was getting, and I think she ran with it. It's annoying. Get over it. You're acting like you and Austin were married. You weren't. You weren't even really like committed dating, and you lose all credibility when you're at his house, leaving your bra there, cuddling with him while he also kissed Taylor. Him and Taylor kissed together. This is the issue I have with women a lot. They'll blame the girl, but they won't blame the guy. And I'm like, okay. Like, are you getting turned on by him wanting to, like, I think sometimes people have like erotic, like reactions to cheating and chaos and all of that stuff. Because why would she still want to hook up with him after he kissed Taylor, but she hates Taylor? It's because she's a little turned on by it, honestly. Hot take. I think people are a lot weirder than we're giving anyone credit for. But I think when people are involved in like, you know, cheating or anything like that, it's part of the drug. You know, it's part of the drug. She wants to be mad at Taylor, but it turns her on to be mad at Austin and Taylor. And it's weird and it's kinky. But that's my hot take on that. Now, I think that Madison still isn't pregnant. And I really like Madison. I really like her a lot. Oh, my back just cracked so good. I think that her husband gives Muppet vibes. I don't know. Gives like Charlie McCarthy vibes, you know? And like Carter when he's like, yeah, Paris. Yeah. Like Brad, whatever Madison's husband's name is. He gives me like Carter vibes. I don't know. It's like the way his lower mouth moves. It's weird. Her lower mouth too. And she said it's not from plastic surgery. Her dad has like a little kind of like crooked thing with his mouth, but Brad, whatever his name is, his lower part of his mouth doesn't even grow at all, really. It's weird watching him. But the dinner that Madison hosted for Paige and Craig was even weirder to watch because when Craig said to Paige, you know, I know that you got me here, but if we broke up, I would be fine. Paige isn't going to show her shock. She did a little bit, but you know that shook her to her core. And I think that she was probably used to, in this relationship, having the upper hand with Craig. And he might have turned a corner. His business is doing great. His house is redone. Paige helped him pick out the interior of the house and the exterior. And, you know, this is why, ladies, we don't do the wife work without the wedding ring, because now Paige did all of this hard work to get Craig to where he is now. She doesn't have a wedding ring on her finger. She is not his fiance. And if he decides, hey, you don't want to move down to Charleston, fine, cool, bye. He's going to get into a relationship with a blonde in 2.5 seconds, and she's going to end up enjoying all of the hard work that Paige put into his house. So Paige, I'm telling you right now, girl, if you want to hold on to Craig, you better start packing your bags and moving down south, because you just teed this man up to find his future wife. You did all that hard work. And look, this might be Paige's lesson to learn, but you do not give a man amazing style, amazing interior, everything without an engagement ring. I'm sorry, because now look, He's like, thank you so much, Paige. You got me to where I am now. But if you don't want to move down here, it wouldn't be the end of the world if we break up. No more tuna sandwiches with pepperoni for you, my darling. It's going to be on its way out. I don't know what she's going to do. I do predict that there will be a big breakup between them. I wonder if Craig is going to do Winter House. That could be interesting. If Craig does like Winter House. I wonder. Because him and Paige really kind of like, even though she was fooling around with Andrea, I think that her and Craig had like a little flirtation going on at Winter House. But I have a feeling there's going to be something that sparks a big breakup between them. And I think that Paige is going to go running down south. I really do. And then she might end up resenting him. Who knows? For me, I've moved a few different times for men and always ended up resenting the man. It has to be my idea. But then there were guys who wanted me to like move upstate New York, and I was like, sir, absolutely not. I will not be moving upstate New York for you. Are you kidding me? But yeah, I do think that, I don't know if Craig is going to do like a bluff breakup with Paige, but I definitely think that there is going to be a breakup that sparks either Paige moving down south or something. Craig is not ever going to leave Charleston. So we'll see. I see them getting back together though. Even if they do break up, I see them getting back together. Even if they separate for like a year. Yeah, I could see them separating for a year and Paige trying to date other people. I think Craig would immediately get into a relationship with like some hot Southern blonde. And again, Paige might get super jealous. Who is this blonde girl sleeping in my spare bedroom? Or having her own bedroom and closet at Craig's house. Imagine. Oh my gosh. Paige is the Scorpio. She would not take that like lightly. But I could see them both dating other people for a year and then coming back together and immediately getting married and having kids. But I do foresee a big breakup between them totally before, because when listening to Paige talk at Madison's house, she's like, yeah, I'm just not ready. And Paige is like 31 or she's 30. She just turned 30. And I'm 39. But I was married when I was 26 and I got divorced when I was 30. If she's not ready, girl, just fucking wait. Just wait until you're like 33. Give yourself a few more years. You know, she probably has an awesome life in New York City. If you're living a life in New York City that's not ideal, then yeah, you probably want to get out, move down wherever and like be married and have a man save you. But Paige is like making it on her own. Giggly Squad is super successful. I'm sure she has a great apartment that she loves. All her friends are there. She walks out of her door. She's in Midtown, which to me would be the worst. I would want like Upper East, Upper West. But she walks out of her door. She's in Midtown. She could go wherever she wants. She's right in the middle of shopping. She's right in the middle of everything. She could go east. She could go west. She could go north, south, and have a great time. I get it. I get why she doesn't want to leave Manhattan. And she's got the best of both worlds. She could go to this beautiful house down south an hour plane ride away and go on like a vacation for a week to hang out with her boyfriend. Who would want, I get it. I get it. But he really loves her and he wants to lock it in and have kids. So what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to break up and make up? I think my prediction is they break up. Paige dates a few people for a year throughout the year. I think that Craig will get into a relationship immediately and somehow they will either find their way back to each other or Craig will get married to the next girl and immediately start having kids. So we shall see, you guys. I don't know. What do you think? Ugh. What do you think about Tori and Dean? What do you think about Kim and Croy and their kids? And have you experienced negative physical effects on yourself while you were in the care of parents going through a divorce? I know I have. So your surroundings, your mental health, all of that stuff affects how you look. And especially like these poor kids, they were in mold and all that stuff. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me for another day of the Daily Dish. And I will chat with you guys next time. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Until tomorrow.